Next up, we have Neophyte by Xtrullor. My understanding is that this is featured in Geometry Dash. Once again, everybody, this is a Basterd's LFA, a Layman-Friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician, a composer, and my objective here is to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what is happening here musically. So, if you like the sound of that, make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever term you want to use, like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member. Once again, two things. First, we just passed 4,000 subscribers as of the recording of this video. Thank you so much once again for that. I do not take this for granted. I am very grateful we get to do this. So let's continue going. And members get early access to the content if you have a paid YouTube membership. I schedule the videos for the week on Saturdays, and if you have a paid membership on YouTube, you get access to all of the videos on Saturday. So consider becoming a member today. Two disclaimers on top of that. First one, this one is my first time hearing this track, so I will be pausing a lot, and I will be speaking a lot, as I will be pointing things out and explaining things as I hear them or as I realize them. And number two, this is recorded live on stream on a single take. I just stumbled upon my words. I will do it again. Whatever happens, happens. With that being said, let's do this. Neophyte by Xtrullor. Let's go. Phoenix, so thank you for the 5 memberships. Alright, let me go back here, because, hang on, let's just wait for it. There you go. Well, those of you who just got the memberships, enjoy your new status, and you get early access to all the content now. All right, let's see here. So let's actually get started. Okay, so that's quite the long melody, but we start with one hit of the drums, and we start with this, I forget the name of the Japanese instrument. It's kind of like the Japanese version of the guitar, you know, massive pick that you have to use, not even called a pick. And we have that giving us our initial motif being the smallest version of your musical idea, the seed, the essence from which everything else comes from. I think it might be the koto. Yeah, let's see. Is it the, koto? Is it the koto? No, not this one. Not this one. We have, what is this, the guitar? What is this one then? This one over here. This one. The shamisen? Shamisen? Is it the shamisen? Because, yeah, shamisen. There we go, the shamisen. There you go. There you go. This is the shamisen. It seems we're using that. And yeah, really cool. We are having a physics. Look at that. And we are having we're having a very long melody from the get-go, which is a somewhat risky move. However, if you develop the melody properly, it can pay off really well. Let's see where it goes. Especially if you keep repeating the motif. We add a doubling. We have a second instrument now playing higher up. Doubling is when you have more than one instrument playing the exact same thing, which is what is happening right now. We're just repeating things, but we have another instrument in a higher register. Let's see where this goes. Okay. We bring in a snare. Ooh, I like the rhythm. And we have one more synth now, a bit more chimey than the other ones. We're building up, adding more. Oh man, just adding the drums like this, it changes the connotation so much. Yeah, it's the first time we're mentioning it. So, with this, you get to see how important just the rhythms, the drums, and everything can be. And, oh my god, like we just had 2 different snare beats, and it just completely changed how the melody sounded. So yeah, I have 2 things about to say. First, if you want to hear an example, the most obvious example of something like this happening, listen to the intro of The Mirror by Dream Theater. The guitar is doing the same thing. It's doing an ostinato as well. John, 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 John. For a full minute. And it's the drums, the synth, the bass around it that changes around, and oh my god, it's a similar feel to what we're getting right now. And then second, something that is happening here. When it comes to the melody, Xtrullor is doing two main things. One, we are doing sequencing, and two, we are doing elongation. So when it comes to melodic development and motific development, the concept of sequencing is when you, and by the way, the opposite of elongation is reduction. So the concept of sequencing is that you take whatever melodic shape you have and you repeat it, but not from the same spot. So what we're doing right now is we're repeating the melody a couple of times, and then we are either sequencing it, and we're doing a sequence, an elongated sequence. And I think it might be elongated inverted sequence. No. Just elongated sequence. So we're having the melody repeated twice, and then from a different spot, we do a longer version of the same motif, which is elongation. Elongation is that you make something slower, and it just takes longer to play out. And with this, we are continuing this kind of James, but he sees a mirror. Funnily enough, the only mirror I have in my house is the one in the bathroom, and it's like the cabinet mirrors. I need to get an actual mirror one of these days, but that's for future James to worry about. So yeah, let's see where this goes. Build up and and we get a full break, a full dropping off the beat with just a really, really fun rhythm, just splicing things up, pushing things, engaging in rhythmic displacement. One of the key things when it comes to dropping the beat. When you're making music, you want a careful balance between what is familiar and what is new. Too much familiarity, too much repetition, too much of the same, you risk boring the listeners, they tune out. Too much new material too quickly, you risk overwhelming the listeners, they tune out. And when it comes to electronic music has a very special exception to this, which is dropping the beat. When you drop the beat, you can do anything you want as long as it vaguely resembles or it fits the rest of the track enough, and as long as it's cool. The other exception that exists, the universal exception, is solos. So if you were to put any sort of instrumental solo, then you can just do whatever you want. Metal has breakdowns as well. I know that there might be others for other genres. I'm not entirely sure. These are the three that I am familiar with. And when it comes to these, you don't have to worry about, oh, am I using the right motif? Am I using the right rhythm? Am I still on tempo? Am I following form? All you have to worry about is rule of cool. Does this sound cool? Yes. So let's see where this goes. Oh, this is completely unrelated. Completely unrelated material. There we go. Now we reintroduce the motif. And then we just go back to the break, to the dropping of the beat. So yeah, Xtrullor is now going out of his way to use the motif again during the dropping of the beat. This is in no way mandatory, but it adds that layer of familiarity to your beat. And now that we're doing this with the dropping of the beat, it gives the sensation of a flying melody. Even though it's the same motif that we had before, it gives us this. So flying melody is a colloquial term that I use. Colloquial, by that I mean that there's no academic term for this, or at least I'm not using it for the sake of simplicity. And a flying melody is exactly what is happening here. We have our very busy drum section, middle section, bass, all that kind of stuff. And high above, we have another melody, slower, simpler than everything else that we're working with. And it's just flying on top of everything, on the landscape of the rest of the music we have created. It's a very, very powerful tool. If you want to hear a couple of other really, really powerful flying melodies, listen to Roxanne from the musical Moulin Rouge. I think this is how you spell it. I never know how you spell this. You can see the recordings on YouTube. The part that Ewan McGregor sings during the climax of the song, that is a flying melody. And then another one, I think it is the song "Good to Be King" from the movie Journey to Bethlehem. The part that Antonio Banderas sings during the chorus is another insanely good flying melody. And by the way, these are two really, really good songs. They're insanely good songs. Like, I would say Journey to Bethlehem, The Good to Be King, one of the best film songs to come out in recent years. Like, they completely overshadowed Disney when it came to introducing a villain with this song. It's really good. Like, you don't have to be a Christian or a Catholic or anything like that to admire just how good of a song Good to Be King turned out being to introduce the villain. Insanely good. Anyway, back to this one we go. So yes, we have the flying melody with this the drums, which are now falling into a more stable beat now that the melody has been introduced. Let's see where it goes. And we're having these moments of pause, which is just... And off the ramp we go. Going off the ramp, another colloquial term that I use. So, yes, GD Monkey, welcome today. Yeah, this one you requested. This one you bribed me for. Yeah, there you go. Welcome to the Q-Bash. So, when it comes waiting for the Xtrullor X James R. Basterd collab, well, Xtrullor, if you see this, I am down to provide you with guitars and throat singing for whatever you want. Whatever you want. All you have to do is DM me. So, so there you go. So now we're off the ramp. Off the ramp, it's a another colloquial term in which you make your audience feel suspended up in the air at the mercy of inertia, that kind of thing, waiting to see where you land. How do you do that? Remove the drums. Maybe the bass too. And that is exactly what we're doing right now. We are setting up the stage for the next part. Let's see. Doesn't care about the structure. Cares about how epic his music can sound. It's pretty... like, the structure is very coherent so far. It's very coherent. So, it's good. Yeah. Coherent. Yeah. Not incoherent. It's very coherent. So, yeah, let's see where this goes. Classical UAP. Hi. How you doing? Variation of the motif. Oh, there we go. We got another thing. And yes, it's Tonkla. Yeah, there you got a membership. By the way, for those of you who just got memberships and didn't know, you get early access to all the week's videos now. I schedule these on Saturday. You get early access to them now. So enjoy that. Let's see. Let me go back a couple of seconds. I missed this. Oh! Yep, there you go. This sound, it sounds like a reed pipe. It doesn't sound like a violin. It sounds like a reed pipe. Which is just... So nice. Is your attitude just your life's motif? To an extent, yeah. So, so yes, we're getting this instrument playing a solo very, very good. I think it's a reed pipe. I don't think it's a violin. It's not a violin. It's not a fiddle. Which, by the way, violins and fiddles, quantum instrument. These are the... All right. Thanks for hanging out, Classical EAP. Have a good one. So yeah, no. The violin versus the fiddle, it's the only quantum instrument that exists. It's the exact same instrument, and you only know which one it is until after it's been played. Structurally, physically, they are the exact same instrument. Same strings, same instruments, same luthiers. The only difference is how they are played. This is not a fiddle being played. It doesn't sound like a string instrument at all. Like, it may be a viola. It could be a viola. It could be a violin with distortion too. I think it's a reed pipe, but we will see. And Night Shard, welcome today. How you doing? So yeah, let's see where it goes. Oh yeah, it might actually be a... Might be a viola. It might be a viola. Still, really cool. Really cool. Let's see. Does he say... Oh, yeah, the violin. It is a violin. It's just mixed weirdly. Because usually violins are a lot more screechy than that. And yeah, that was on the lower end of the violin. Yeah, no, like here he says, P.S. I played the violin in the middle part of the song. If that's what interests you. Look at that! From 2 years ago, and Xtrullor calls me out right away. Look at that. So yeah, I was wrong. It was not a reed pipe. It sounded like a reed pipe just because when the sustained notes were hitting. So yes, and yeah. So we're getting this really, really cool. I think also the way that Xtrullor mixed it mellowed down some of the frequencies, so it made it sound a little bit less like a violin. It made it sound a little bit more like another instrument, but it was still good. It was a wonderful solo. It was a very beautiful melody based around the motifs that we have, but it wasn't really using the motif. He was just playing a solo, which goes back to the whole, when you're making a solo, as long as it sounds good, it sounds good, it works, and there you go. Let's see where it goes. Build up, and again, we go to the break, to the dropping of the beat. And now we are incorporating that melody that the violin gave us, which I'm going to chuck it as a variation because it does contain elements of the motif. We're going to incorporate this as a variation, giving us a dropping off the beat with the melody from the get-go. Whereas the first time we had it, we had the melody coming in at the second half of the section. Now we have it from the get-go, and from the get-go we're getting this really epic vibe, the flying melody. It's really, really cool. Very well played. Very well played, because I thought it was going to be a solo and it was just going to end at that. But no, it turns out it was a solo-esque melody that ended up being the actual melody. Another composer that does this a lot is Igor Stravinsky. Like, you listen to what Igor Stravinsky composed, he didn't coin it, but it was basically planned improvisation. You listen to the start of the Rite of Spring, and you can hear the bassoon, and it sounds like the bassoon is just jamming. And no, each one of the notes being played was carefully, meticulously composed by Igor Stravinsky. Like, insane. One Vingerage is very Stravinsky-esque. Yeah, many pieces are very Stravinsky-esque. Like, once Stravinsky, what he brought was odd time signatures fully implemented into classical music, into the Western world. And most importantly, what Stravinsky's main contributions to the world of Western music were twofold. One of them was polyrhythms / odd time signatures, and the other one was polyharmonies. He was the first composer to successfully implement polyharmonies. So, the concept of a polyrhythm is having multiple rhythms that would otherwise not work together, working together at the same time, and polyharmonies is having multiple harmonies working at the same time. Harmony being, what scales you're using, what chords you're using, what chords make your scales, what scales make your chords, all that kind of thing, and just having two sets of them working together at the same time. The Rite of Spring has both of these, and it's difficult to tell that it's a ballet. Like, there are recordings on YouTube of the full Rite of Spring ballet. It's difficult to tell. It's one of those things that it doesn't look like a ballet, but oh my god, it's awesome. It's a really, really, really cool one. And and the concept here that I was saying was the whole concept of planned improvisation. The violin solo sounded like an improvisation, and it turns out, was it not? It doesn't matter. Xtrullor is using it now as a driving force for the second dropping of the beat. Let's see where this goes. There we go. There's the solo now on the new synth. And there's the main motif. Back we go to the main motif. Cut off and... You're welcome, H6. You're welcome. Oh, really cool. Really cool. And it's not that I'm the only person doing this, because I'm pretty sure I'm not, but I am the one willing to let you know where these concepts would have come from. Because a lot of these practices, the practice of the planned improvisation, is something that Stravinsky would have did 100 years ago, you know? So it's one of those things that we don't make something out of nothing. Like, there's no such thing as somebody in music creating something that 0% of people, like it's the individual elements, there's no way no one has ever heard them. Like, a lot of these things come from a lot of traditions, a series of just people having used them throughout history, and we're just looking for new combinations of music and expressing ourselves. And GooH01, welcome today, how you doing? And all of these will have some sort of history. And that's what I'm trying to point out over here, that this kind of concept, you would see this in Stravinsky's music, and it just goes to show how influential Stravinsky's music ended up being to the entire Western world. Just like I'm pretty sure I could draw a bunch of other ones, but Stravinsky is the one that came to mind with this. Now, does this mean that Xtrullor went in, studied Igor Stravinsky, and was like, "Oh, I really like what he did with those bassoons over there at the Rite of Spring. I'm gonna do something like that with this particular violin solo in this track that I'm making"? Probably not. Probably not. Did he have to? No. It just happens that he's engaging in a concept that overlaps with some of these practices coined by some of these major composers all that time ago. So, SKT Box, welcome today, how you doing? How do you feel about this being the 797th year without Genghis Khan? I fear the 800th year, because every 800 years or so, a massive horde of inexplicably well militarily equipped people spawn in the Mongolian steppe, and they conquer a third of the world, they kill a fourth of the people, and then they collapse. And we are... I mean, Genghis was about 800 years ago, and then the Mongol Empire lasted another 20 to 100 years, depending on what you qualify as the Mongol Empire. So we're anywhere between 20 years and 100 years away from the next Mongol horde to just spawn in Mongolia and just completely taking over the world, as it already has happened 3 times. So, fun stuff. Let's see where this goes. Let's get back to the music. So yes, we have the drop. Off the ramp we go again. Now we bring this chime-esque synth, giving us the motif again. Let's see. And we're having another synth in the back, giving us this sense of rising. And elongated version of the motif. Second half of the motif, basically. New variation. Where are you taking us? Basing this on the second half, and another one. Oh, look at that! And we're making this one more akin to heavy metal than we are to electronic music. Like, this kind of break of dropping the beat is not dropping the beat. This is how you would hear a metal band bring in their main melody right after a breakdown, or right for a breakdown. This is more akin to a breakdown than it is to dropping the beat. And it works. It's heavy as hell. I am loving the sound, because even the drums changed a little bit with the cymbals being used. They sound a little bit more analog than they do digital right now. I think they're still digital, but just the way that he's using them changes with that. So let's see where this goes. Yeah, look at that. That's up, welcome today. How you doing? Oh, really cool. We had another melody at the bottom. We're adding like human singing to this, giving us like a choral aspect to this whole thing, which increases the similarities here from this being electronic being more akin to metal and classical music, which, by the way, believe it or not, metal and classical music are more closely related than any other genre out there. Both metal and classical music, they both use similar principles. They're both extremely theatric, extremely dramatic. Metal and classical music are a lot more... If Beethoven had been around today, he would be in a metal band. He would be 100% in a metal band. Same with a bunch of other composers. They would 100% be making metal. So, yeah. Yeah, like Stravinsky, he would be in like whatever Russian equivalent of Dream Theater there would be. I mean, he would probably have come to the Americas and made like, I don't know, something else. Something different, but it would be like, he would be into prog music. We would have... Mozart would be doing whatever Jacob Collier is doing. Beethoven, yeah, he would be making some real heavy stuff. So, yeah, they're basically the same thing with different instruments. Yeah, with a different ensemble. Yeah, like classical is just more expensive. So yeah, let's see where this goes. So yeah, we're just bringing this. Oh, and you can hear the singing in the back. We bring in orchestral brass, trumpets, trombones, tuba. I think it's trumpets and trombones, making this feel epic. This melody has gone from being awesome to being epic. We are adding all of these layers of orchestration that you would see in classical music and in metal, which is why probably the rhythm has changed from the electronic beat that we had earlier to now actual just metal. Because the amount of metal bands that have just do this, like in principle, is insane. Because it just works, and it works really, really, really well. Speaking of metal rearrangements of classical pieces often work pretty well, and vice versa. Yeah, because on principle they work together. They work really, really well on principle. That's why. On principle they're very, very similar. So yeah, it's like comparing classical music to heavy metal is like comparing blues to rock and roll. On principle, they're basically the same thing. They're just from different eras. And that's it. Yeah, let's continue. Let's see where it goes. Monchichio, welcome to the Bay. How you doing? Oh. And I would say this isn't even a drop. This is not a drop. This is Climax. This is a Climax, and Xtrullor has gone away from electronic music. He just happens to be using electronic elements right now. This whole thing right now is more akin to orchestral music and heavy metal than it is to electronic music. He's just managed to weave his way into seamlessly transitioning between the two. This is brilliant. Let's see where it goes. There's a second melody. Really cool. Oh, beautiful. When was this made? This is from 2023. Yeah. And we're employing other classical things. Letting that brass do its thing, letting the vocals. We're having call and response. Yeah, this says premiered just under 2 years ago, September 2023. So we are also doing call and response, which you can hear right now. We're having the brass playing the melody. When the brass stops, the vocals start. Call, response, musical conversation, that kind of thing. And yeah, this is so cool, dude. This is so cool. Let's see where it goes. The melody So dramatic, so beautiful. Yes, the 2020 pandemic was 5 years ago, yes. And off the ramp we go. And we go for like a steel drum? One last run of the motif. We let that glitch in. And there you go. There you go. Dude. Oh, that was awesome. I was not expecting this to go there. I was not expecting it. Like, the drops themselves, the electronic elements were really fun. I was not expecting this to go full classical. Like, this was... Like, this is the kind of epic that you would see Beethoven make. Like, this is like putting the melodies like that, just completely going cinematic in that sense. Theatrical, all that kind of thing is just... That was so good. That was so good. And there you go. That was Neophyte by Xtrullor. My understanding is this is featured in Geometry Dash as well. Once again, everybody, this has been a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician and composer, and my objective here has been to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what's happened here musically. So, if you're watching this on the YouTube video archive thing, thank you for watching. Make sure you're following the channel. Subscribe to the channel. Once again, at the time of recording, we just passed 4,000 subscribers earlier today, so thank you so much, everybody, for being here. I do not take this for granted. I am grateful every single day that I get to do this. Yes, I'm not making a living out of this. I don't care. I'm just happy that I get to do this in general. And once again, like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member. Once again, members get early access to the content. I schedule the videos for the week on Saturdays, and starting this week, so if you're watching this, it already started. If you are a member, a paid member on YouTube, regardless of which tier, you get access to all of the videos on Saturday when I schedule them, so consider becoming a member today. And if you want to listen to this without me interrupting every 3 seconds, I will be linking it in the description down below. If you want to request a song, if you're on the live stream, you can start requesting, and if you are not on the live stream, go to the Discord server, link down below. Go to the LFA requests channel and follow the instructions on the pinned message. And if you want to catch the streams when they happen live, we aim for Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Central European Time. If you're not in Europe, that's okay. We have the full streaming schedule up to date, showing in your local time zone in both the Discord and the Twitch, both linked down below. So if you're like, oh, I live in Alaska and I don't know what time that is, and what time is 6 p.m. in Hungary over here, don't worry. Discord, Twitch, they both have it showing in your local time zone. And follow the gaming channel. We're on YouTube. Of course we have a gaming channel. What else could I possibly ever hope to have? Games are Basterd, link down below. And who lives in Alaska? Well, not the Talkeetna mayor no more. So there's that. So yes, Games Are Basterd, link down below, or just search for it on YouTube. Same username as James R. Basterd. You swap the J for a G, and you got it. And yeah, there you go. There you go. Neophyte, Xtrullor, really good stuff, man. That was awesome. That was awesome. But yeah, let's move on.